First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join the session. It's very important for me, first of all, and for ChemiCloud as well. This is the first session that has been done at ChemiCloud with the entire team. As you know, ChemiCloud is a quite small company, so we didn't have this kind of session or training groups in the past. But as we grow, we try to improve ourselves on all the aspects, on sales, technical, and things like that. And because management gave me full power on this, I will try to schedule more this kind of sessions, meetings, ebooks, and things like that. I will try to involve every one of you to give feedback, suggestions, because only this way we can basically improve, first of all, everyone's skills and as well to do a good job for the company. So the how to sell ChemiCloud, let me share my screen. Okay, I think everyone can see my screen at this moment. Okay, so this ebook, it's the first, basically it's not an ebook, it's more kind like, I don't know, a document. It's the first one that I've ever created for a company, even if I have a couple of years experience in the web hosting industry. And I've tried to write this PDF, this document, with most of the essential things when it comes to selling web hosting products. I know that every one of you already read this book at least twice, so I will not to discuss every chapter in detail, but I will just list all of the chapters that have been discussed in this ebook. The first one is product knowledge, and as you know, in this chapter, I told you that it's very important for all of us, first of all, to make sure we understand which are the products that the company advertise. So in order to become a very good salesperson, it's not possible to be able to sell a product if you don't know that product inside out. And when I'm saying inside out, I'm not saying only the pricing or only the name of the product. It's very important to understand exactly the applicability of that product, the price, of course, the technology behind the product, and as well to be able to compare that product to the other company products, and as well, very important, to the other companies in the web hosting industry products. But this is a different thing that we discuss in the chapter 6, which is called Know Your Competition. The second chapter, it's Know Your Customer. Well, not sure if any of you had ever heard about this Know Your Customer. It's mainly encountered in financial institutions. It's basically some kind of procedure in which the bank wants to know multiple details more than the customer offers to the bank. This way they can know their customers and have extra details if that customer will be, I don't know, will be all right to be given a loan or things like that. Well, the name sounds quite fancy, you know, QIC, Know Your Customer. Okay, but this can be applied, because I didn't found a different name for this procedure, but this can be applied very well in the web hosting industry as well. And why I'm telling you that? Well, let's assume that the first chapter, it's very clear for every one of you, even if in the next couple of minutes we will have a question and answer session and we'll discuss and have questions for each of the chapter. But let's assume that the first chapter, it's very clear for everyone here. Well, once you know all the products that you have to sell, it's very important as well to know your customers. I mean, every time you have a chat with a person, no matter from which country, no matter if that it's a person that it's been in our chat before or not, it's very important to be able to gather some details about that person and basically create some kind of a profile about that person. And in this chapter, I give you an example. So if a person just joins the chat, it's very important for you to take a look to see, all right, from which country this person is, what kind of operating system he's using, what IP address is using, and if you do a short quiz of that IP address, you can find, not all the time, but most of the time you can find if that it's a VPN IP address or not. I know somebody asked me, how can I understand if that IP address it's a VPN or not. I will give you an example about that as well in the next couple of minutes. So when I'm talking about know your customer, if you have only this basic details about that person from the start, you created some kind of a profile about that client. Even if you have only a couple of seconds since you are chatting with that person, you already, in your mind, you already know that that person is from that country. And basically, based on country, you can have an idea about their, I don't know, their economical power. You know, if you see a person, let's say from Australia or from United States, and after that you see a person from, let's say, I don't know, country like India or other countries which are not so, don't have a very good economic status. Well, you know that basically the person from United States, let's say, it's more interested on a high quality services, and the person from India maybe it's looking for the best price. So with only a couple of extra details that you get without asking the customer, you can have in your mind a profile about that customer. And this is very important as a part of what makes a person a very good salesperson. Anyway, we will discuss about it with examples and questions in the next couple of minutes. The next chapter, it's communication and responsiveness. And I gave you here a couple of examples in this book. So yes, based on stats, it looks like when you talk with a person in a live chat, if you are not replying to that person, let's say in the first, I don't know, 10 to 5 seconds, that person will consider that basically you're busy or you are a slow typer, things like that, and you give them the chance to open a new tab in their browser and, I don't know, search for other companies, search for other services and things like that. This is why it's very important once you have a live chat conversation to be as fast as possible with your replies. This way you basically don't give them the chance to switch the tabs and look for other things. Also, you basically, once you're super fast typer and once you reply super fast to a person, especially with the sales chats, you're basically expressing to that person that, okay, these guys are super fast, support might be exactly the same, so this is what I'm looking for. I don't have to look for other companies. This is what I want. So this is a very important chapter as well. I know some of you already respond super fast and your replies are super fast, but for the other guys that are, I don't know, slow typers and things like that, by tomorrow I will give you a wrap up about this this session, and I will give you some hints and some tips on how to improve your typing speed, because this is very, very important as well. Of course, as I said in the ebook, this is applied to the sales chats only, not on technical chats, because there the things are different. Sometimes you have to troubleshoot something, so it's absolutely normal to ask the customer to wait a couple of extra minutes while you check on that. A very important chapter as well is being organized. Well, this is not only related to your work here, this is related to your life in general. I don't want to tell you what you have to do outside of your job, but this could be something that can improve your, I don't know, your performance in your life as well. Being organized is some kind of a skill that helps you to be super productive, and sometimes these are super small things that makes you a bit more organized. And I've listed here a couple of things. So once you start your shift at ChemiCloud, you can have some kind of a routine, open the application, open the tabs with the pages that you need and things like that. And only because you do this routine every time you start your shift here, this can help you a lot along the way. Being organized, you know all the time where the information it is, so every time you need something, you know exactly what tab or what bookmark to open and things like that. This, first of all, makes you a very fast person, because every time you have all the things organized and you know exactly how to access them, it will be super easy for you to reply in a sales chat super fast. So this is as well something super connected to the other chapters of this ebook. All right, another chapter here, being organized, it's quite long. There are about 10 tips on what to do to become an organized person. The next chapter is being tech savvy. All right, so selling web hosting products, it means that you are selling technical products. It's not like selling, I don't know, apples or vegetables. But even there, you have to know a lot of details about those vegetables, like what vitamins they have and things like that. But anyway, selling web hosting, it's very important for you not only to be able to sell, not only to be able to be fast, to type fast and things like that. It's also very important to understand the technologies behind. And this is connected as well to the product knowledge. So it's very important once you sell a turbo, a pro, or a starter, or a VPS, or any product from ChemiCloud, to know which are the technologies used for that product. Because if you know what those things are doing, those are extra playing cards for you when talking and chatting with a person about the product, letting them know that those technologies are something that will help them and their business and their website to perform faster or more stable, things like that. And exactly as I said in the ebook, at this moment in the web hosting industry, probably only 2 out of 10 web hosting providers are offering such technologies like we do. And this is, you will ask why? Well, most of the companies in the web hosting industry are just offering default stacks on servers. And this is because business-wise, it is a big advantage for you as a web hosting company to sell something that costs you only a couple of bucks because you have a very big profit margin. However, at ChemiCloud, we try to offer, so to say, no stress services. This means that a customer that is purchasing a product from us, we want to make sure that that person doesn't have any kind of downtimes, their website loads fast, doesn't have to worry about malware, doesn't have to worry about emails. And basically, we try to offer a product that it simply works, exactly as the tagline we have at ChemiCloud. So anyone that purchasing a product, we want to let them know that, hey, look, we'll take care of everything. This product, it will simply work for you, so you can focus 100% on growing your business, your online store, your blog, whatever you have. So if you have the tech knowledge of our products, you will be able to sell the product and explain to a client the advantages of our products in comparison to other companies that are offering basically the same products as we do, like share hosting, WordPress hosting, but they don't have those technologies behind. Cool. The next chapter, it's information gathering skills, not a competition. Well, I know that some of you ask me, all right, which are the competitors that we have, so how we can understand the products that they have and things like that. It is not easy to offer you a list with the competitors. Why? Well, because it's really hard to find some company that is offering exactly the same products as we do. But this chapter, information gathering skills, has been written because it's all basically related to how you check the competition. So let's say you have a client that comes to live chat and it's asking you, look, I found the company, I don't know, abc.com, that it's offering exactly the same services as you do, and they are 50%, they have a price with 50% less than you. Why? Well, at that moment, it's not important for you to know the ABC company, because there are, I don't know, thousands of companies in the world. So it will be very complicated for you to keep a list with all of those companies and know exactly what products they have. But once you know the company they are comparing with us, you can say something like, okay, look, let me take a look of their packages. Let me take a look of what they are offering, and I'm going to explain you the difference between us and them. So this is not easy, because you'll have basically to open that website, see the products that they are offering, see their pricing, and see the technologies they are advertising. And most of the time, you'll simply have to put our packages with them head to head. Sometimes you will find companies that are going to tell you like, all right, we're selling with $2, I don't know, unlimited disk space, unlimited cPanel accounts and things like that. Well, at that moment, you have to understand something. Nothing is unlimited in the real world. So most of the times, those are just marketing techniques, advertising techniques. Those companies are doing like this. Okay, We'll offer you unlimited cPanel accounts, or I don't know, 10 CPUs, or I don't know, big numbers, but in their terms, they will basically limit you on something else. Just to give you an example, there are companies that are offering unlimited SSD web hosting, all right? And you'll say, wow, cool, I'm going there because I need, I don't know, 300 gigs. Anyway, if you read their terms, they will tell you something like, all right, we are offering you unlimited web hosting, but you are not allowed to host backups, you are not allowed to host, I don't know, images or assets which are not linked to your website and things like that. Or maybe they are limiting on inodes. So every time you see something that it's too good to be true, most likely there is a catch there. And that can be found in their terms or exactly in their, I don't know, at the on some websites, when they advertise something, you'll find at the bottom of the page some stars saying that, okay, we're offering 8 CPUs, but we are limiting you on something else. They are basically, most of the companies are not hiding what they are limiting the clients on, because it wouldn't be legal to do that. So most of the times, if it is a serious company, they are basically writing their terms the truth about those packages. So as a wrap up for this chapter, information gathering skills, this stays up to you because it will take you a couple of minutes probably. You have the chat, and it's normal to let that person know, okay, all right, give me a couple of minutes because I want to check their packages. Only this way I can make a difference between our products and their products. And after that, it's up to you to see their products, to see what technologies they are offering, to read their terms for a couple of minutes and try to make a difference between us and them. Anyway, we'll discuss more about this in the next couple of minutes when we will have the question and answer session. The next chapter, it's collaborative skills. All right, so this chapter is also very important, not only in sales, but in general when working remote. All right, I've seen that most of the times, on all the shifts, people are, I don't know, have some kind of hesitation to ask in public about, I don't know, about things they don't know or about things they don't understand. Well, at the first sight, you might find this, all right, I don't know, probably people will say, okay, this guy doesn't know anything, or I don't know, probably my manager will fire me because I'm asking this stupid question. In reality, it's exactly the opposite. Nobody will fire you or, I don't know, send you a strike about asking something if you are asking that because you want to solve a problem. So nobody will come to you saying, hey, why did you ask about that? Because, I don't know, we have it in the knowledge base. If your answer will be, all right, I had a person in live chat and that person was asking me something and I don't know, I didn't remember where to find the answer for that. And because I wanted to be fast and because I wanted to help that person in live chat right away, I've decided to ask the team about that and to help me and refresh my memory about that. So it's very important to talk on the public channel and talk with your colleagues about things that you don't know, about everything that you want. Because only this way, the other guys that are in the room, in the Slack room, maybe they have the same hesitation as you. And if somebody breaks the ice, the other guys will see it, will have the answer for those questions. And this way, basically, we will help one to the other. So everyone wins at the end of the day. So it's very important to make sure you will talk with the rest of the team, with the level 2s, with your colleagues from live chat, with me, with everyone who is on Slack. I'm quite sure nobody will tell you that, okay, I don't want to answer that question. Absolutely not. If you have a question for anyone in this company, I'm quite sure you will get the answer. Cool. The next chapter, it's people skills. Empathize with your interlocutor, with the person you're talking with. Well, this is a bit more complicated chapter because it's a bit of psychology here. So first of all, let's have an overview about the types of potential customers. And based on stats and based on books, it looks like there are 4 types of potential customers: are the price buyers, relationship buyers, value buyers, and poker player buyers. You have the descriptions for all these types in the ebook. So Most of the time you will chat with person that come to live chat and ask for the best price. I don't know. They will tell you they don't have the budget, but they really need a web hosting package because they want to start a business and things like that. Well, the first thing you have to do is to go ahead and empathize with that person. I mean, it's very important in sales to express and show to that person that you really care about their needs. Even if they are prize buyers or even if they are poker player buyers. No matter what, first of all, try to empathize with them. All right, you come to live chat and you really have a problem. I don't know if you lie or not. I don't know if you have this problem or not. But at the beginning, I will empathize with you. I totally believe you and I will try to find the best solution for you. Even if you are asking for a super big discount, even if you are asking for, I don't know, something technical, even if you are asking 100 questions, I will try to help you at the beginning. I will try to empathize with your problem and I will try to give you all of the answers that you need. But absolutely, there is one certain point when you will stop that. Because at the beginning you will empathize and along the discussion, you will try to understand if that client is one of those types. If it is a price buyer, relationship buyer, value buyer, or poker player buyer. And at the moment when you will understand what type of customer is that, you will start to change and control the discussion in a different way. We'll discuss about this as well in the next couple of minutes at the question and answer session. Cool. The next chapter, it's closing skills. And this one, it's basically probably the most important one. So every time you have a sales chat with a person, all right, the mission will be to make that person purchase our products. All right. So exactly as I said in the ebook, sales is not about selling or convincing anybody of anything. It's about helping people solve problems or achieve their goals. So probably the most important closing skill is to focus on resolving that person's problem, not to sell a product. It's not healthy for a company to get customers no matter what. Because at that moment, that customer, as an example, if a person comes to live chat and say, hey, I have a Magento website and I want to host it, it's not good for you to say, all right, okay, because I want you as a customer and because I want you to place the order with us, go ahead with starter. It's okay, it will work for you. Saying that, the person at the beginning, okay, will trust you, will order the starter product, they will migrate Magento there, and their website will not work. So in the beginning, it will be a sale, but after just a couple of hours or days, they will ask for a cancellation. Because what we did was to focus on a sale and not on solving the problems they have. So probably the most important aspect of this chapter is to make sure every time we talk with somebody in live chat, especially on sales chats, is to focus and try to understand the problem they have. So once a person comes to live chat, it's very important to ask them, all right, at this moment, do you have a web hosting product? Do you have already a website? And they will say, probably, some of them will say, no, I don't. I want to start fresh. All right. In those situations, you don't have to solve a problem for them. You just to give them an option. If they don't have a website yet, pretty much they don't have a problem. So at that moment, it's just about giving them an option. All right, because you are just starting, probably started will be okay. But let me know, what do you want to start? It's an online store, it's a blog, it's a presentation website. Just let me know more about this, and this way I will be able to recommend you a product. Anyway, there will be customers saying that, all right, thanks for asking. I have a website already. It's hosted with company ABC at this moment. And you'll say, cool, that's great to hear. Let me know, which is the main problem that we have with them? Or why do you want to switch? And once you ask that, they will probably come to you with the following answers like, the renewal price is too big. I have problems with email. The website is slow. Or I don't know, they will have different problems. From that moment, you have to focus on how we can solve that problem. If they are coming to you saying that, okay, the renewal price is too big and I come to you because I see you have a discount. Well, at that moment, you have to say, cool, That's great. Yes, we have a promo, but let me know from the start that we have a bigger renewal price as well. So if you're on a tight budget at this moment, you can still choose us, but probably it will be more effective for you to choose the 3 years plan, because this way the discount will be locked for all of those 3 years. So next year you'll not have to migrate again to a different company just because the renewal price will be bigger. If they say that, okay, at this company I have problems with iNotes, I have problem with email, you have to ask them what kind of problems, and this way try to see if we can solve their problem, if our products will solve their problem. And from there, I'm quite sure the sale will be closed. All right, in the ebook I have a couple of closing skills and a couple of types of closing, and it's assumptive close, puppy dog close, and I've described all of them. And they are very important. We will probably have a couple of other sessions in the near future, and we will discuss every chapter in detail. But that's pretty much it with the ebook. These are all of the chapters that I wrote and which are very important. And as I said in the ebook, we've considered all the fundamental aspects of a fantastic salesperson. But first of all, we must realize how we've worked so far and what needs to be changed. So it's very important for us to understand that, all right, so we have an ebook, How to Sell ChemiCloud now. We have a couple of new ideas here. We created this and we start to have sessions about how to improve our sales skills. All right, let's take a step back and understand, cool, what I've did until now, what is wrong, what I can improve. It's very important for every one of us to understand what was wrong in the past and what needs to be improved. Basically, we can't improve ourselves if we don't realize there are many things we don't know. We can't become a fantastic salesperson if we don't basically recognize in front of us that there is room for improvement. Okay, so this was just as a short wrap up of the ebook, and I hope everyone was able to hear me, and I hope everyone has details about every chapter and took notes and things like that. So now we will have the question and answers, and I will try to answer all of them one by one. Cool. Before going ahead with this, please let me know if any of you have any questions about this so far. Okay. If anyone has any questions, just unmute your microphone and let me know. Okay, so no questions. Cool. I will try to answer the questions that I received by email from you. And, okay, let me open this one. Okay. I have a couple of questions here. Here is the first one. I read the question. I think a few months ago, a client asked and compared us to another hosting provider. I forgot about their name, but I remember that they provide unlimited resources and ask why our resources are so low. It is safe to tell the client that the other hosting provider doesn't have Cloud Linux? All right, so that's a very good question. I know that there are hosting providers. They are basically offering unlimited resources. They are saying, okay, you have unlimited CPUs, unlimited memory, and things like that. As I said in the ebook in the product knowledge chapter, on a server where you don't have Cloud Linux and you have, let's say, a different operating system, as long as you are not limiting any account, basically all of those accounts have access to the entire pool of the server. While this can be super fantastic for a customer, knowing that, all right, so I'm hosted on a super big server and I have access to all of the resources, in reality, it's not like that. Because there is no company in this world to have a super big server and to host there, let's say, only 100 customers. Because it will not be, business-wise, it will not be a good idea for them. So pretty much, those servers have thousands of customers. So even if it sounds super good for you at the beginning because it's unlimited resources, I'm quite sure even if you have access to the entire pool, you will not be able to use too much. because there are many other hundreds of customers that are thinking exactly as you do and they are already using those resources. So in the end, even if technically speaking you have access to all of the resources, in reality there are too many other customers on that server that are basically using exactly the same resources, so you will never be able to use all of them. So to answer the question now, yes, it is safe to say that, okay, probably the other guys are not using Cloud Linux as we do, and let me tell you why is this important here. Well, while using Cloud Linux here at ChemiCloud, you have access to a certain amount of resources for which you paid, and no matter what happens on that server, you will always have access to those servers, to those resources. But on the other company that is not using that, imagine that probably on that server there are, let's say, 3,000 customers, and if all of them are using, let's say, only one CPU, you will basically not be able to use too many resources left. So nothing will be guaranteed for you. Alright, it says unlimited, it's a marketing trick most likely, but you will not be able to use too many resources. So yes, it is safe to say that probably the other company is not using Cloud Linux, but very important it's to explain to them why Cloud Linux is important and the advantage of having those semi-dedicated resources allocated to their account only. Cool. Any questions about that? I think Theo asked me this question. Theo, is the answer all right for you?
Yeah, it is all right for me.
That's great. Thank you. Cool. Going ahead with the next one that I have from you, sounds like this. How do we handle a toxic client who needs us to done all sort of things by us? I understand that this is my job description. However, sometimes there are clients who takes advantage of this and ask every little thing to be done by us, from creating a WHM package for his reseller, creating a cPanel account, and so on. Even if I provide a tutorial, but it seems that he didn't want to read it. He even said one time that he cannot see. That's a very good question. That's something that it really happens quite often in the web hosting industry. I'm quite sure every one of you at least once had in live chat this kind of customers. I'm here at ChemiCloud, I'm quite sure one of them, it's probably Alex Hoy or something like that, if I remember the name correctly. All right, well, yes, it's a very good question. All right, what we can do in this kind of situation? Well, there are customers, like Alex is one of them, which basically they don't have technical skill at all. They are trying to create a business. They found ChemiCloud, even if they were migrated from a super cheap web hosting company. And at the beginning, when they came at ChemiCloud, they'd say, all right, you are super, super expensive for me. Why are you so expensive? And at that moment, we told them, all right, we're offering amazing customer services. And from time to time, we can help you, even if it's out of our scope to do that. Okay, you can help me with even, I don't know, creating a package in WHM. Yes. If we have time for that, we will help you as well, but we will also offering you a tutorial or a knowledge-based article and showing you how you can do that. He said, all right, that's awesome. All right, probably I will be able to evolve with my business with you and learn new things as well. Well, as the time goes, because we are fantastic, he found that, well, it looks like I can run my business by having the ChemiCloud team as my employees, right? So basically I can just open the chat and say, okay, do this for me, and they will do it. I'm not saying that we should not do that, but probably with this kind of toxic customers, you can do this way. All right, Alex, thank you so much for your time. I understand what you want to do. Look, I remember I did this for you last week as well. I'm going to do it one more time, but please offer me 1 minute. I want to make sure that I'm telling you step by step how to do it. This is very important because this way next time you will be able to do it even faster. All right, probably he will say, no, I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to learn it because you will do it for me every time. At that moment, it is safe for you to say that, all right, cool, I understand that. Look, since this is something you can do and you have access to do it from your side, listen, probably in the next, I don't know, days, weeks, or next time when you will come to live chat, I'm not quite sure my colleagues will still be able to help you. As long as we are trying to teach you and show you how you can do it, and as long as you have access to do it, it will be nice from your part to at least give it a chance to do it from your side. Do that, explain to the client this, and if still comes again saying exactly the same thing to you, just tag me. Tag me about this and I will open a ticket for that toxic client. Not only to Alex, but to everyone else. If you are tag me in Slack or send me an email saying that, hey, look, this client came to chat like, 10 times this week, asking for the same thing. We offered him all the tutorials. We've been super kind with him or with her. We offered step-by-step instructions, not only on URL, because, sometimes just throwing an URL can be interpreted as a rude. Okay, this person wants to get rid of me and just offering me this tutorial. No, I'm taking the time here in live chat and I'm offering you screenshots with arrows exactly where do you have to click. And if you are telling me that you did all this and the client still come asking for exactly the same thing, personally, I'm going to contact that person, explain him that, all right, we want to help you, but it looks like you're taking advantage a bit of our support team. Does it sound good for you? That's great. Cool. So this is what you can do with the toxic client. So basically, to wrap up, try to give him not only the tutorial, but as well screenshots with step-by-step. And if this happens again and again, just tag me or send me an email and I will take care of this. Cool. The next question is, does our Python hosting has a difference with our shared package? Perhaps Python hosting has a server configuration that has been tweaked to suit Python apps better than our shared hosting. Well, no, there is absolutely no difference. As you know, on ChemiCloud.com, in the footer of the page, at the bottom of the page, we have a couple of links to Joomla hosting, Python hosting, and things like that. Those are simply marketing purposes pages. Basically, even if those are called Joomla hosting or Python hosting or Node.js hosting, they are basically exactly the same packages are the web hosting ones. Why we did that? Well, we had a meeting in the past with marketing, and marketing said something like, look, it looks like a client that it's looking for a Python hosting. Even if you are telling them, hey, look, our web hosting package supports that and works with that, for their peace of mind, it's super important for them to read a page where the title says Python hosting. So just for advertising purposes, those landing pages were being created. If a customer will come to chat asking you, all right, I see that you have web hosting packages and Python hosting packages. There is any kind of difference between them, you can clearly and safely tell to them that there is absolutely no difference, because even web hosting has and supports Python applications. All right, then why do you have two different pages? Well, this is first of all because of marketing purposes and SEO purposes. Because when you're searching on Google Python hosting, you will find us. It's really difficult for us to advertise web hosting for so many applications. So this is why the landing pages were created. Cool. Let's go ahead with the next questions that I have here. All right. If possible, and will not be a lot of work, can you also create a map for the add-on services that can be and can't be added on each services? Well, that's a very good idea. Yes, I will work on that. I will work on a graphic map with all of the products, and under each product, I will create some dots or some squares where I will write all the add-ons that can be added to those products. And this way, probably it will be easier for you to have a clear view of an image with the products and the add-ons that can be purchased for each product. And basically, if you don't see an add-on under a product, it means that it doesn't work with that product. So the short answer, yes, I will create that, and probably next week we will have it. The second question is, Since we don't have ideas on what other providers offer, can you give us some information about other hosting providers, for example, their server infrastructure? Well, it's really complicated to offer you details about that because, as I said a couple of minutes ago, there are probably, I don't know, thousands of web hosting companies. So I have no idea about their infrastructure. So exactly as I said, I think in the chapter number 7, you have to do this job. So basically, when somebody comes in live chat and you have an idea that they are comparing us with other companies, just take a couple of minutes, but let that client know something like that. Look, okay, I understand. So you are comparing us with this company. All right. Do you have a couple of minutes so I can take a look of their products? Yes or no? All right. Okay. Just give me this time. I'm going to their website. I'm checking the products they have, and I'm going back with more details and comparison between our products and their products. And this is up to you, but do not forget that you can talk a level 2 as well. It's up to you to find the differences. I'm quite sure at the beginning it will be complicated because, you're not doing this too often. But going forward, let's say a person comes and says, okay, I'm comparing you with Hostinger or with HostGator or with GoDaddy. You have to ask as well, because they have a lot of packages. All right, with which package do you compare us? What do you want to purchase from us, and what package do you want to purchase from them? And go ahead to GoDaddy website or to HostGator website, see the package, see the features that they have, the technologies, and if it's something not super clear for you, do not have any kind of hesitation. Talk to level 2 and say, hey, look, please, if you have a minute, give me a hand with this. The client compares us with these guys. Let me know, what do you think? Why a level 2 will be able to do that? Well, as a level 2, I think they have more experience in the web hosting industry. As an example, Stephen, that it's in this session with us, he worked with a lot of shared web hosting companies because in the past he was working for an outsource services company, and basically he was doing support for, I don't know, maybe lots of different web hosting companies. So probably because of the experience, he will be able to spot all the differences and, I don't know, features and things like that. So at the beginning, yeah, just go ahead, talk to level 2. You can tag me if I'm on shift, George, Bogdan, Doreen, and because they have more experience in the web hosting industry, they will help you out with the difference right away. Cool. The next question, how can I verify if client's IP address is proxy or VPN? Well, it's not easy to track down that, but a simple whois in your terminal, it will be basically, 30% accurate. So if you go ahead and just see the client IP address and do a whois on a website or on your own computer terminal, you can find who owns that IP address. And most of the time you will find a company name or something. After that, just copy that company name, search in Google, and at least have an idea. Most of the times, probably you'll find something that doesn't make any sense to you. This is it. You will not be able to track down all the time if it's a VPN or a proxy. Most of the time, probably will be a residential IP address. You'll find, a company, an internet server provider name. So at that moment, you'll understand, all right, this person doesn't use any VPN or things like that. But probably 70% of the time, you will not be able to track down if it's a VPN or a proxy. But 30% of the time, you will do it. So when you can do it, when not, this is it. There is no other way to detect that. Cool. The other questions that I have here. It's important that we know our products and what we offer so we can answer customer directly. Upgrade or downgrade can be done anytime. Can a client with reseller upgrade to VPS if they need more disk space, or it is advisable to just purchase another reseller package instead? Okay, that's a very good question. But the answer is not so simple because it depends. Let's say a customer that owns a reseller at this moment needs more disk space. Cool. All right. You can ask them, all right, do you need more disk space? Yes. For what do you need that disk space? For more other websites or for only one single package? Why do you have to ask them that? Because if they want more disk space for only one single package, pretty much they need more inodes as well. But if they need more disk space because they will host multiple other websites, they don't need more inodes, so they basically need more disk space because their business evolved. So it depends on what the customer will say, but I will give you a couple of examples. If a customer comes to you and say, yes, I need more disk space because my customers are using, I don't know, a lot of disk space for emails, and it looks like I already have the biggest reseller that you have, and that disk space, it's not enough for me anymore. Well, in that situation, it will be more cost effective for them to just purchase a second reseller, because a VPS it's more expensive. So, because even if we want to make sales, we don't want to give them information to recommend them the most expensive packages. As I said in the beginning, we want to solve a problem, not to make a sale. Because if we solve a problem, pretty much the sale will be done as well. So if he will say that he needs more disk space for their customers because they need more disk space for emails, probably the best choice will be a second reseller. And once they have the second reseller, they can just balance the accounts between the resellers and this way have more disk space. But if a client comes to you saying that, yes, I have a client that needs 200 gigs of disk space, pretty much that person will need as well a lot of inodes. So at that moment, you will say, all right, it will not be cost effective for you to purchase a new reseller, because on that reseller, every account that you'll create will have a limit on inodes. So it will not be cost effective for you. But look, it will be advisable for you to consider a VPS, and not only to purchase the VPS as a second service. You can also take in consideration to upgrade your entire reseller to a VPS. And here are the pros. Once you will be upgraded to the VPS, you will no longer have the inodes limitation for any of your accounts. And also, if you upgrade to a VPS, your WHM sub accounts will not be limited to 1 CPU and 2 gigs of RAM anymore. You will be on a VPS without Cloud Linux, and basically all of the resources will be shared by your clients. So basically, you will have more performance as well. Cool. The next question that I have, it is okay to compare with our competitors and it is ethical to do so? Absolutely. As I said a couple of minutes ago, we are not comparing with them to put them on a bad light. If we will find a competitor that it really offers better technologies, better pricing, better everything, we will say, all right, it looks like they are offering more than we are offering at a better pricing, so it's absolutely a good choice for you. We are not saying we are the best in the industry. We are not saying that we are offering the most amazing services at the best price. Absolutely not. I'm quite sure in the entire world there is at least one company that offers better customer services than us, better products and better pricing. So it's not that we want to put all the others in a bad light. We only want, when it is the chance, to explain to the clients what we have better than the other guys that they are compared with. Cool. Can discounts be offered on upgrade? Well, absolutely. But again, it really depends. At this moment, you are not handling the billing part of the things, but absolutely in case of upgrades, we can offer some discounts and a billing ticket is needed. Bogdan, I think it's now working on something because we want to automate the upgrades so the customer will be able to do it right away from their client area with discounts already applied or things like that. So I think next month you will get an email with explanation about this. All right. Okay, it looks like we have only 5 minutes left. I will try to be super fast. I have also a question here. I would like to ask about on how to sell our custom VPSs. It is the same as we have in our internal KB in Node. Well, this has been asked by Benji. Well, custom VPSs are not easy to sell. Most of the times, the person that are purchasing custom VPSs are usually our clients. I can't remember somebody that came into our live chat asking for a custom VPS and placing an order right away. So most of the time they are coming, testing our services on a default VPS, and after that they are asking for an upgrade to a custom VPS. But just to answer the question, yes, you have to advertise and offer details about our custom VPSs exactly as we have it in our internal KB node. All right, I also have here two questions from Jerusalem. In the ebook, it was mentioned that you always read conversation in the support room in Slack, but how come searching all thread messages in Slack it's not possible? That's a very good question. For a month, we tried the trial of Slack, and at that moment, we were able to read all the conversation that we had in the past. But we tried the trial of Slack to see if it works to pay the price for that product. In the end, it looks like the features that they are offering on the paid Slack doesn't work for us to pay that, because it doesn't help us too much. So to answer your question, how I'm doing that? Well, I have a custom hook in Slack, which basically saves all of the conversation every day in cloud. And even if Slack removes them, I have them saved in my cloud, and I can go there and read all of the conversation on all of the channels. So this way I have logs for everything that has been discussed on all of the channels from the beginning of the time. Cool. Please provide example on how to manage toxic clients mentioned in the ebook. All right. I think we discussed about that as well. So yeah. We have the answer yet. It's not a complete answer, but because we're running out of time, we'll have another session probably next week. And based on the feedback that I will get from you, we'll discuss probably more about this. So the next questions, I have one from Brian as well. Actually two. Do we have any specifics on how much traffic each VPS plan can handle? As a potential client, usually ask for an estimate. Well, we don't have any kind of estimation or specific, because every website, it's created in a different way. I'll give you an example. If you have a website, a HTML website, a presentation website with only a couple of text and images, and you put that on a CVPS 2, let's say, you might be able to handle, let's say, I don't know, 100,000 visits, because it's a super simple website. No PHP, no database connection, no nothing. But on the same server, if you have a website which, when it's accessed, go ahead and do some database queries, I don't know, or PHP operation, things like that, pretty much only a couple of hundreds of visitors will be able to reach the website, and after that, the VPS will go down. So it's not basically possible to give an estimation at all. It really depends on what the customer is going to host on that VPS. However, because you asked me this, I will try to create a document with some kind of estimation and some kind of examples, like, I don't know, in case of a WordPress, in case of an online store and things like that, and to just give you some averages. The next question, can client assign resources directly to the accounts from WHM, particularly on VPS, like an option to decrease resources such as CPU memory? Well, to do that, first of all, the VPS must use Cloud Linux. And we will probably never enable this for the customer. But for sure, if they are purchasing a VPS with Cloud Linux and open a ticket or ask us to allocate more resources, more CPU or more memory to an account, a specific account, we will do it for them. We will absolutely do it. Cool. I only have remaining a couple of questions from Muhammad. And he says, I have a few concerns about product knowledge. First, can you please clarify the difference between malware scanner and malware removal? Or are all the same thing as Immunify 360? Well, yes, malware detection, malware removal are basically features based on Immunify 360. They are offered by Immunify 360. It's not something different. And they are very different. Malware detection, it means Immunify will scan all of the accounts and try to find bad files. And malware removal, it means that Immunify will remove or clean those infected files. And also Muhammad says, our website mentioned that Immunify 360 is available in Pro Plan, but I don't find them in on-off recent purchases. Which is the correct info should we provide to our clients? Yes, well, normally Immunify malware detection and removal should be on all of the packages. However, if you guys find any of the packages that don't have it, just let George know right away. Tag him, give him an example of that, and explain that. Which is the correct info we should provide to the clients. All right. Also, we do scan our server with Immunify 360 automatically in certain periods. Well, yes, Immunify scans and protects all of our servers from time to time. It's based on cron and based on how overloaded the servers are. But yes, we do scan our servers frequently. Or do we have to scan them manually via cPanel? Well, the customers can also start a scan from cPanel. Second concern is regarding memcache object catching. I found this feature is present in Pro and Starter, but our website says the opposite. Well, memcache should be present on all of the packages, but again, for marketing purposes, on our website, it says that Starter and Pro doesn't have them. However, I will have to talk with marketing to see if we can actually enable those features on all of the packages, so it will be more clear for the customer what to choose. Okay, and the third thing from Muhammad, it's regard closing skills. I found this method to be effective on my previous company, which is adding extra bonuses to the clients for choosing a longer period. Yes, starting from March, we will do a couple of changes on our billing cycles, and basically we will offer bigger discounts on different billing cycles. So basically this will be covered in the next couple of weeks. So that's pretty much it. Okay, guys, this was the live session. I tried to answer all of the questions that you sent to me. It looks like 1 hour. It was not enough to discuss everything that I've noted here and everything that I wanted to do. So most likely we will have another meeting next week, again on Wednesday. And on that meeting, I will make sure that basically you will talk more and I will just listen, because this time for about 1 hour I was the only one talking. I hope I was able to offer you some ideas, some answers to your questions, and I really hope this will be a big advantage going forward. As a wrap up to this, after this meeting in the next couple of days, by the next Wednesday, please, all of you send me as a wrap up if this discussion just opened your mind for other questions or concerns. Or at least give me some wrap-up ideas about, okay, after this session, I understood this, this, and that, but I still want to discuss the couple of things in the next session. All right? All right, guys. Well, does anyone have any questions now for the next couple of seconds? No. Cool. We will communicate more probably next week. I will try to allocate a couple of minutes to each of you so everyone will be able to ask something or at least answer some questions. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you for your time. And I will talk to you next week. Have a good one, guys.